Coming up next, Blocks News.
Hey, this is Dave Bazuki. I'm founder and CEO at Roblox, and today you're listening to Tech Talks. Today we are diving into the future of communication, how we do it safely and authentically. And we've shared many times, we believe immersive 3D and 4D communication is part of the future of communication. So today, Rajiv Bhatia, welcome Raj. Raj is our head of product for user and discovery. Great to have you here, Raj.
Thanks.
Okay. Naren Konaru, what's up? Engineering, safety.
Yes.
Great to have you. And then
Thanks for
Eliza
having me.
Jacobs, head of policy at safety. A lot of people might not know what safety policy is, so we're going to dive into that as well. And I want to frame first just the magnitude of what we're going to be talking about today, because this is at RDC and at other conferences, we've shared our vision that when we start thinking about facial age estimation and age checks, just to set the stage for what we're going to be talking about today, can you just a quick heads up before we dive in on the engineering and ethical foundation of like how we're going to do this?
We've been working on AI for a very, very long time. And AI is obviously, we built this muscle over the last 4 or 5 years, and we've been playing around with a lot of these technologies. And we feel like at this point, the technology has become more accurate so that we could actually rely on the age estimation technology to reliably estimate people's ages for making decisions on the platform.
Which is a radical evolution, because I don't know if it was you or other people, 4 or 5 years ago, we were talking about primitive BERT filters, enhancing our text filtration, and we've come so far now.
That's right.
Being able to do this on a device.
Yeah, BERT was the first LLM that we used to launch our first version of the text filter. And now we are at a point where we can do this ephemeral age estimation so that we could do it in a very privacy-preserving way and still get the accuracy that we need to reliably estimate.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to dive in on the tech. We're going to dive in on privacy, all of that. Humans naturally want to storytell and communicate together. We started with literally the mail system, the telegraph system, the phone system, the video system in the midst of COVID. We found that more and more people were using Roblox to communicate. And so this is a really important topic. We're going to be talking today about how we do that both authentically and safely. Specifically, we're going to be diving into a little bit of the future of AI. We've been an AI company for 4 or 5 years behind the scenes, but we're going to be focusing on age estimation technology and what that means. So let's just dive in a bit first and talk about what this means to frame it all. Raj, I don't know what are we talking about when we say age estimation?
Yeah, well, I'm very excited that we're here talking about innovation in communication safety. And we're launching 2 big things. The first one is what you just talked about, which is age estimation on the platform. We're making a pretty big change in the platform to require every user on the platform that wants to access communication to do an age check. And there's 2 ways that you can do an age check. We've got the traditional ID verification that people have been able to do for a long time on the platform, but we're now introducing facial age estimation, where you can just, using your device camera, you can conduct an age estimation right there in the convenience of your home without having to upload anything. It just takes a minute. It's really quick and it's highly accurate. And yeah, we're really excited about that.
Okay, so we're going to be diving into this technology. Naren, from an engineering standpoint, what can you share about this technology? Why has it become possible all of a sudden? A little background for our users.
AI is all about data, right? And we have had so much of this data in our systems, and using that, we can build like pretty sophisticated models with an average precision of within like 1 to 2 years. So I think it all comes down to, can we leverage the data to build accurate models, which I think is actually the simplest part, right? The hardest part is, how do you detect fraud? How do you detect that, okay, somebody's not just showing a picture or a video and tricking you into these systems? That is really hard. How do you detect that, okay, people are just putting makeup to, kind of avoid the age checks? That's hard.
I would think, can I put on a Mission Impossible mask?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right?
Or can I put a picture up? So we're going to dive into a bit of that
That's right.
today as well.
Okay. Yeah, so I think fraud checks is the hardest part, and making sure that we can accurately predict the age is okay. It's not the most challenging, but I think the fraud is the hardest one. And then reliably making sure that it works across the scale that we have today, which is like about 150 million users come to our platform. And how do you make sure that these systems don't go down? We return within a minute. Those are all the hard engineering challenges that we work on.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about age estimation, civility, and safety. And then Eliza, we can all imagine product and engineering, but many of the listeners might not realize what a depth of policy we have going on. Could you share a little of the policy implications of age estimation?
Yeah, a couple of things. One, we were really thoughtful about what we felt was developmentally appropriate at different sort of ages and stages, and who should be talking to who. And then from a policy perspective, this is a space where for a long time there's just been no technological way to know the age of kids, right? Like that, they don't have IDs. There's no way to do this. So it's so exciting to marry the safety policy side of the house with the engineering side, and really do what we think is right for the community.
Okay, so I think this is one area that highlights from the start at Roblox. We made it known we believe there's 12 and unders on the platform, and we want to design and build for them. And when I think about this technology and where we are kind of in the current history of communication, a couple things about Roblox, right? We've gotten to where we are, about 150 million daily active users, with this very big vision of a platform where people optimistically play together and connect. We've done it arguably in a very fortunate way, in that we've come across an economic model that has allowed us to add more engineers, more AI developers, all of that, and build this amazing platform and have all of these creators on it. And so sometimes when I think about this issue, I think it's fair to say we do things before laws are written, right? California Age Appropriate Design Code, things like that. So there's kind of this combination of, we're in a fortunate position. We want to take the long view on this. We want to be very responsible about this. And really, what I would say is a big issue. Maybe going straight to the challenges of, why are we uniquely doing this? What are the challenges that we're looking at here?
We take that role that we have as the preeminent destination for people of all ages to come together on the platform and to play games together, to connect with each other, to learn. And we have a really wide range of ages on the platform. And two challenges that we see emerging when we think about communication on the platform is, one, do I have confidence in who that other person is on the other side? Do I have a assurance that that they're who they say they are, that they're the age they are? Self-reported age is just not good enough, and we're taking the step to go.
Can you share what the audience self-reported age is?
Yeah, a lot of pretty much every platform out there does this today. You sign up for an account, you enter a birthday based fully on what you want to enter, and that's called a self-reported age.
I love Google Docs, but that could be when my kids were really young and they were 8, they would sign up for, using Google Docs and say they were 13 to sign up. Okay.
Yep. So that's one of the challenges that we see on the platform. Of course, our goal is to ensure that every user on the platform has an age-appropriate and civil experience. And the first part of that we need to solve is making sure that we have high confidence in everyone's ages. Maybe
looking at traditional age, techniques of either self-reported or other. Naren, what's insufficient about those things?
Yeah, to add to what Raj is saying, our platform can range, our users can range from 5-year-old to like 70-year-old people, right? So, and we cannot just rely on the self-declared age, because we have the right set of defaults for different age groups. but we need to make sure that the age is actually correct.
And so I would say,
traditionally-
so some of the people out there are going to ask, well, what were you doing? I think it's fair to say we had to design for the wide range of people.
Correct.
Not necessarily saying, in all cases, the exact right age. And so I think maybe that, just for background for the people out there, it's why we filter all the chat.
That's right.
Yep.
Right? And then we have ID verification to access some of the features on the platform. But how many 13-year-olds have IDs, right? So that's just not possible. And if you look at some of the other platforms, what they've been doing is to look at the behavioral signals to estimate an age.
That's
And
right.
while that can work in like course age groups, it's very hard to pin down the exact users of the people. And this is why we're excited about the facial age estimation, because that can bring you down within like 1 to 2 years range of your real age. And that changes everything for us.
So we're going to come back to that, but that's a really interesting tidbit, is the accuracy of AI age estimation, especially when coupled with other signals. Eliza, when we look at the risks, of both age estimation and other types of technology to estimate age, can you share a little from a policy standpoint?
We've always had a fully filtered platform. We don't allow image and video sharing. We're monitoring in the background for critical harm. So we've got models running in the background and sending to our internal investigations team if we see anything going on that we think might be unsafe. So this is just one of a layered approach to safety, because we always knew we had kids. So to go back to your question about self-reported age, we knew that wasn't a perfect signal, and we built systems based on knowing that. So it's super exciting to add this much more reliable signal to just bake into our safety systems.
This is a very new thing I want to highlight, and it's been very hard to get an age checker and age estimation on such a wide range of people that are handed devices. I will highlight, there's a lot of great minds out there. Everyone wants the right thing. There's discussion, should devices try to know the age of users? Should that be a law, for example? Like if I hand you a phone, I say 12-year-old kind of thing. I would say there's a thought on our part of not waiting for that. I also think there's arguably a robustness of, rather than just trusting that signal, the more signals, the better. So I think it's fair to say, both with our age estimation and our other signals, if the device had a signal as well, in a sense, we'd mathematically convolute that and put it together to get even a better signal.
100%. We are using the face-to-age estimation as to predict the age, but we use a lot of behavioral signals to see when you're kind of not behaving like yourself, right? Like what if you gave your phone to your older brother and have them age check for you?
Well,
And how do we
that
detect
almost
that?
gets into maybe diving into a little of how it works, 'cause you're on the engineering side. And then I'm going to randomly ask you questions like I'm just listening to this for the first time.
do that.
So how does it, first from a technical thing, and then we'll go from a user journey thing. So
Yeah.
first, technology, how does this work?
From a super simple thing, you just pull out your phone, say, start age verification. Within a minute, you're done. And it takes your selfie, which is what we actually use for the age estimation. But then there is liveness checks to prevent all the fraud, right? So we ask you to turn left and right, and that's kind of when we see, hey, is there any superimposition going on? Because the ears are really important, the makeup is really important. And we look at all of this to make sure that there's no fraud, and you're not just showing a picture or showing a video, AI-generated video.
Okay, so what happens if I find my older brother and
right.
I push this up?
Yeah.
Do I get that age then?
You will get that age in that moment.
Okay.
But then in the background, we are running our continuous age estimation based on your behavior on the platform, who you're talking to, what games you're playing, how you're typing, right? Your spelling. All of this can be indications of coarse-grained age buckets. And then when we detect that, okay, let's say you gave it to your older brother who's 5 years older, but then we detect that it's younger, we will re-challenge you. So you better get the same age brother again at that moment. Otherwise,
So my brother should just come with me all the time,
yeah.
basically. Okay.
That's right.
And then how about my really cool Mission Impossible 3D mannequin head? Like, can I put that up and rotate it?
Well, we tried. It didn't work.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
You tried that?
Yeah, we
Okay.
have a team that is trying to break the system all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, we did try, and it doesn't work. Again, these are all the things that we've been developing and improving our models over time. So yeah, it was very hard to break it.
A long time ago, there's these sci-fi adventures where people would go to a terminal somewhere and like log in and pay for something. And that was thought of as the preemptor to internet payment. And then in the early days of internet payment, everyone was very skeptical. Like no one's really going to trust a credit card. How good's the encryption? Do we have, SSL or whatever and all of that? And then now where we are, literally there's like 39 payment providers that like I breathe on my browser and it's just like choo, pay kind of thing. I do feel this is kind of where we are right now. It's a new thing. A lot of people are used to taking selfies and a lot of people are used to sharing images. So that camera is available. So I'm excited. Maybe Raj more on the user journey side of this.
So Naren described a little bit of the sort of steps a user would take. But when we first started thinking about adding this to the app, I was really worried that it was going to be a lot of friction.
Yeah.
I'm actually really surprised that it's not. It feels very natural, feels very intuitive.
Do you remember the meeting we had where I think you handed out a lot of phones?
Yeah.
And very early on, okay, we actually, I think it's also fair to say we preempted this discussion by testing and using age estimation earlier
internally,
in our life cycle. We got signal from that. We reviewed the signal both on PCs, Macs, Android, iOS devices.
Yep.
And can you share what it was like when you handed out those devices? Like everyone, I kind of knew in that moment, like this is gonna go forward.
Again, it was a lot smoother than people expected it to be.
Yeah.
And when you're a user and you're prompted to start your age check, it's a pretty seamless experience. Once you opt in to doing the age check, you give permission for our app to take to use your camera.
Yeah.
And as Naren described, basically it's doing live photo captures and it's just doing a liveness check. And within a minute, the system has estimated your age and given you feedback on what age we estimate you to be. And it's very easy if you disagree with that to click a button and say, I disagree with this. I have alternative proof, whether that's an ID that you want to upload or if you want to get your parents involved to correct
and
your
I
age.
think that's why we call it age check,
Yes.
in that we feel there's many signals and they'll get more and more comprehensive over time.
Yep. And then, of course, we haven't talked about this much, but once you go through that age check and you get that age estimation back, that then unlocks communication on the platform for you. And so once you have that, when you head into chat, you'll see that you're able to chat with others that are also age checked, and you'll have conversation with them.
Can you talk about policy around that and technology and whether, is there some risk everyone's photo is going to show up somewhere or something like that?
Yeah. So we call this ephemeral age estimation, right? So yes, we do get your image and video, selfie video, but then those images and videos are deleted right after the process is complete.
Right.
Right. So yeah, even if you want it, we can't get it because they're deleted right away after the age
So
estimation
for everyone
is
out
done.
there, ephemeral means kind of like evaporating or disappearing.
It just disappears. So we don't have that data anymore.
Yeah.
We will collect the metadata, which is like the age of that person that we estimated. We will store that with the account, but the real images and videos, they're gone. They're nowhere to be found. Right?
So that's really a balance then between safety and privacy.
Yeah. We deeply care about the privacy for the users, right? So.
Okay, so then communicating how this is going to work. It's interesting, right? Because we're going to talk about how we would communicate this to parents and users around the world. Trick question would be, what's the best place to communicate?
Yeah,
where 150 million people come.
Yes, 150 million people a day are coming to our app.
And there's no way to communicate at any wider way than literally the app itself.
It is the best place for us to communicate this and try to make it as clear as possible. So we do rely on the app, the in-app education, the in-app user flows to communicate what's happening and provide any links you may have, provide any answers to questions you might have about it. So We try to make it as smooth and easy and straightforward as possible in the app. And I'm, again, very proud of the way we've integrated into the app. But if you have questions, we link out to the Safety Center. The Safety Center has a boatload of really great resources for parents and for users to understand.
Roblox.com/safety center.
Oh, even better.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, Roblox.com Safety Center.
With regards to age checks and age-based chat, those two products that we're launching, we even have fun explainer videos that go through the functionality of both of those in about 30 seconds each on the platform.
Also, for people listening, maybe thinking about how age estimation, age check fits into the broader architecture, I think it's fair to say when we're talking about safety and civility, we're talking about something this big. And today we're talking about a new addition to something that's much broader, right? There's content safety, communication safety, filtering, all of those kind of things. Can you share a little how this plugs into that?
When we think about safety, you have to have defense in depth, and we have to approach it from many different angles. But beyond that, all the content that is uploaded to Roblox is proactively moderated. We rely on user reports. We understand, we can make mistakes. In this case, we rely on user reports to tell us when we make mistakes, and then we look at them, right? And all the communication is filtered by default. And our filters are different for different age groups, and that's there. And our communication is not encrypted, which means that we are monitoring this communication for critical harms all the time as well, right? We don't let images or videos to be shared within communication as well. So I think all of these controls make Roblox a really safe platform.
Yeah, the way I think about it is over time, as we continuously get better and better at our ability to estimate the age of everyone on the platform, it forms a foundation that everyone over time is going to know and expect. It's a little bit why we called it the gold standard in a way. There's something also that I feel this unlocks, and we can talk a little about it. The more we really estimate and know the age of everyone on the platform, we can start looking into minor and adult communication. And I would say in addition to chat filtering, and even with chat filtering, we can start taking a look at to what extent we should allow that.
Right now, as we launch this age estimation, we won't be allowing kids to talk to adults, so that will be cut off. Kids will only be able to talk to their peers. I think there are many use cases where kids talking to adults is totally appropriate, right? Like kids talk to their teachers and to their piano teachers and all those folks, their older brothers. And so we do need to build a system where that is allowed, where you're talking to trusted adults. And we will do that with our Trusted Connections product.
Yep.
I think the other thing to note is once we estimate your age, we're going to put you in all of the defaults for that age, not just about communication, but also for content maturity, right? What games can you play, for feature access and things like that. So we're really focused on a developmentally appropriate process of opening up features and access to content as kids grow up. And, I know, Naren, your kids are teenagers, so handing them a device and sort of trusting them is fine. But like maybe for a 9-year-old, that's a different situation.
So I think when I was 6, I would probably have wanted access to the 18-year-old content, like just knowing what I was like when I was 6. So I think we are already very careful with that as far as ID check and a bunch of other things. But this does allow us to supplement that in certain areas. And what's going to be interesting is I think that'll be part of the pull of age checking. Like I want to age check in a way to be part of whatever my appropriate community is.
Yeah, kids want to be in their peer groups and playing what their peers are playing. And I think this will help us do that and to allow them to age up on the platform as is appropriate as they grow up on Roblox.
Okay, so I'm a user. I don't know if users will hear this before or after the US rollout. We'll find out. But what should I expect?
The first thing I think people will feel once they age check and join chat with their peers, and I think they'll feel like they're in this group of people that are all age checked. That there's a level of validation that has occurred, and I think their confidence in who they're speaking with and knowing that their peers will increase.
Yeah.
And I think at first, I think it'll be interesting to see how fast people pick up on getting their age check done and then joining chat. At first, it might feel a little bit quieter, and that's okay, like maybe for the first few days. But I think very quickly after that, they'll start to see and feel communication that mirrors what they see in the real world. They will be hanging out with people that are their similar age. They'll be having the same type of conversations that they have at school, on the playground, with their peer groups. And it'll start to feel, I think, really natural. And I think that's what we're going for, something that is, essentially age appropriate, natural, where you feel like you're in this trusted group together. And I think that's what people will see.
If we reflect that into the larger vision of Roblox, which is optimistically and safely bring people together, and this notion of building a platform for all ages, we did something, I think, aligned with our vision in that if we were looking at the phone system in the 60s, or if we were looking at the video communication system, those typically are platforms that we can see having utility for younger people, for 13 and up people, for communication with grandparents and kids, with peers, with all of that. Can you share a bit on the notion of age estimation and age check with this vision of a platform for all ages?
We don't want to hold back access, right? We do feel like
Yeah.
everyone should be able to use the platform to communicate, to connect with their peers, to play games with their peers. We're not asking for a lot. We're asking you to check your age.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put you into a developmentally appropriate and civil experience, and you'll have access to that. And as Eliza mentioned, if you want to go beyond that, if you want to play games with your older cousin that's in another state, or if you want to play games with your parents, Trusted Connections allows you to do that too. And that's very possible on the platform. So we want to support all those valid use cases while also balancing default safety for everybody on the platform.
Going back to responsibility then and looking at the industry as a whole, we have about 150 million DAUs. There is a wide range of social networking apps, social communication apps, AI apps, gaming apps. Some are 13 up, some are all ages. And we are, I think, thinking about this industry-wide issue, both on age estimation and other things. Can you share a little about our industry collaboration and like how could we kind of get together and join up on some of this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think safety is in general a shared problem on the internet. It's not just us. I think every other platform also has the same problem as well, right? Or similar challenges. So I think we've been open sourcing a lot of our models, right? So anytime we think that we have a pretty sophisticated model that is world class and it is broadly applicable to a wider range of the industries, we try to give it away so that we raise the overall safety on the internet, right? So we did this with voice model, voice classifier about a couple of years ago. Earlier this year, we open sourced Sentinel, which is our real-time detection model for critical harms. We also open sourced our PII model just recently. And one day we probably will open source our age estimation model as well when we feel like it's really good and ready to be shared there. Now, on top of this, we also collaborate with this open source initiative called Roost. We've been founding members of that organization, and there the mission is to really build a wide variety of tools that are applicable across the industry and that can be shared across multiple partners. So we've been the founding members of there as well, and we collaborate very closely with them.
Okay, and that is, I would say, not just good for business, but good for the industry as a whole. Yeah. And arguably over time, as we lean into these AI technologies, we should by default have more and more of the industry's leading AI models to help support this. Stepping out of the product side and the engineering side, from the policy side, I think sometimes we talk about speaking without adjectives, just pure facts, like not marketing speak or comm speak, just like the raw facts of what we're doing here relative to the industry. Could you share your perspective on that?
Yeah, this launch is industry leading. Nobody else has launched age estimation at this kind of scale and to gate these kinds of features. It just isn't being done anywhere else, and we're so proud to be the first and be out ahead. But we really hope other companies follow, right? Because what we don't want to happen is, well, I don't want to age estimate there, so I'll just go use some other app.
That's right.
And so it only works if we all work together and do it responsibly. And so we're proud to be leaders, but we hope that we get some followers as well. And we're only seeing more of this kind of regulation going out globally, right? Like Australia just launched their 16+ social media ban. So lots of platforms are having to retrofit this kinds of technology to be able to comply with those regulations. And we're just not going to have to do that. We're going to have already built it. We've already integrated it. We've done it in a way that's thoughtful to our community. That works for our users, and so we think that's a better way to do it. Take the long view, be out ahead of where we think the industry is going.
Yeah, and I do think we'll go through this new phase, but I think culturally and technically, we're just at the forefront of many other, similar innovations. I think back to all of the innovations we made in the company. There was a time when it seemed pretty radical to use AI to dynamically translate whatever a creator made into a bunch of languages. And we moved from that being a new phase to something it's just, of course, the platform has it. Any other final cultural projections of where this is going or what we're going to see when we look back in a year or two at this? My own impression is we're going to look back at this as just one more innovative stage of something that people assume all of these platforms include.
I think that's right. I think, there's a lot of things that have sort of led up to this, right? Like we're all used to unlocking our iPhone with our face. And I think that having been doing that for the last couple of years makes this feel like a more natural part of the future. I was on a plane yesterday and I went through security by having my face checked. So it's just going to be a more natural part of our lives. And as long as we're being really conscientious about the privacy components of that, I think, to your point about friction, right? It's just, it's an easier, faster way really for everyone than doing an ID verification to get the right information that we need to keep everyone safe.
All right.
I would quickly add, if we're able to make come true that concept that more and more platforms will join us in this move, I think we'll look back on this as, well, of course you want to be honest about who you are on the platform, on the internet. Of course you want to be clear about your age and you want other people to know and have confidence and you are representing who you really are on the platform. And I think this will hopefully be the start of that across the internet more broadly.
We are rolling out Australia, New Zealand. I think it's been a week or two. Yep. I think it's fair to say we're pleasantly surprised with that.
We're very surprised and very happy with the progress so far.
And arguably some pretty big numbers.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So thank you, Raj. Thank you, Eliza. Thank you, Naren. This is one more as we roll out safety innovations across the platform. It's really exciting to dive in both, I would say, policy, technically, and product-wise. We'll be back with a lot more future innovations as we roll them out. So this is Dave Bazuki. This has been Tech Talks. Thanks again for joining us, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.
It's time for a short ad break.
Mistletoe in January?
Why can't your parents just move on? The holidays are over.
If Verizon's keeping the holiday spirit, Nick, so are we. We just got a great deal.
Super fast, reliable home internet for just $35 a month.
With no surprise price hikes, guaranteed. You'll understand when you're older.
I guarantee this is gross.
Great deals are still here. Switch to Fios Home Internet starting at $35 a month and get a Samsung TV on us with our premium plans.
New Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. The Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners. It's unbelievably Pepsi.
You're unbelievable.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Try it now.
If I was a flower growing wild and free, all I wanted to be my sweet bee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I wanted to shade me and be my leaves. If you were a wing, I'd be a nod. If you were a seed, well, I'd be a pod. If you were a floor, I'd want to be a rug. And if you were a kiss, I know I'd be a hug.
This vacation was such a good call.
3 moms sitting down at the same time must document this historic moment.
I'm not moving a muscle.
Don't worry. AT&T gave me the new iPhone 17 Pro with the center stage front camera. Didn't even need the most expensive plan. Should we call the kids? No.
Get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us when you trade in your old iPhone. Any condition, most expensive plan not required. Plus, switch to AT&T and we'll pay off your phone balance up to $800 per line.
One more time. Walmart's Cyber Monday is the last chance to score even more deals.
Even more?
Even more.
And it's on a Monday this year.
It's always on a Monday. It's Cyber Monday.
What's Cyber Monday?
New Year, same extra value meals. From breakfast to late night, make it a meal and save. Value is still on the menu, only at McDonald's.
The $4.99 double cheeseburger meal at Burger King. It's the double cheeseburger you fell in love with, or the one you're about to. A quarter-pound of beef patties, flame grilled with 2 slices of melty cheese, plus fries and a drink for just $4.99. You rule.
We wanted to switch to T-Mobile to make sure that we have better coverage.
T-Mobile is now the best network. And with T-Satellite, we're connecting millions of people in places no carrier tower can reach.
I signed up for T-Satellite to give me peace of mind as a mom that makes life better knowing that it's there when we need it.
Upgrade to the best network. Right now, T-Mobile will pay off 4 phones up to $3,200. Plus, hook you up with 4 new phones on us. Switch today.
Mistletoe in January?
Why can't your parents just move on? The holidays are over.
If Verizon's keeping the holiday spirit, Nick, so are we. We just got a great deal.
Super fast, reliable home internet for just $35 a month.
With no surprise price hikes, guaranteed. You'll understand when you're older.
Guarantee this is gross.
Great deals are still here. Switch to Fios Home Internet starting at $35 a month and get a Samsung TV on us with our premium plans.
New Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. The Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners. It's unbelievably Pepsi.
You're unbelievable.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Try it now.
If I was a flower growing wild and free, all I wanted to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I wanted you to shade me and be my leaf. If you were weak, I'd be a knot. If you were a seed, well, I'd be a pod. If you were a floor, I'd want to be a rug. And if you were a kiss, I know I'd be a hug.
This vacation was such a good call.
3 moms sitting down at the same time must document this historic moment.
I'm not moving a muscle.
Don't worry, AT&T gave me the new iPhone 17 Pro with the center stage front camera. Didn't even need the most expensive plan. Should we call the kids? No.
Get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us when you trade in your old iPhone. Any condition, most expensive plan not required. Plus, switch to AT&T and we'll pay off your phone balance up to $800 per line.
One more time. Walmart's Cyber Monday is the last chance to score even more deals.
Even more?
Even more.
And it's on a Monday this year.
It's always on a Monday. It's Cyber Monday.
What's Cyber Monday?
New Year, same extra value meals. From breakfast to late night, make it a meal and save. Value is still on the menu, only at McDonald's.
The $4.99 double cheeseburger meal at Burger King. It's the double cheeseburger you fell in love with, or the one you're about to. A quarter-pound of beef patties, flame grilled with 2 slices of melty cheese, plus fries and a drink for just $4.99. You rule.
We wanted to switch to T-Mobile to make sure that we have better coverage.
T-Mobile is now the best network. And with T-Satellite, we're connecting millions of people in places no carrier tower can reach.
I signed up for T-Satellite to give me peace of mind as a mom that makes life better knowing that it's there when we need it.
Upgrade to the best network. Right now, T-Mobile will pay off 4 phones up to $3,200. Plus, hook you up with 4 new phones on us. Switch today.
Mistletoe in January?
Why can't your parents just move on? The holidays are over.
If Verizon's keeping the holiday spirit, Nick, so are we. We just got a great deal.
Super fast, reliable home internet for just $35 a month.
With no surprise price hikes, guaranteed. You'll understand when you're older.
You guarantee this is gross.
Great deals are still here. Switch to Fios Home Internet starting at $35 a month and get a Samsung TV on us with our premium plans.
New Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. The Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners. It's unbelievably Pepsi.
You're unbelievable.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Try it now.
If I was a flower grown wild and free, all I wanted to be my sweet bee. And if I was a tree grown tall and green, all I wanted to shade me and be my leaves. If you were a wing, I'd be a nod. If you were a seed, well, I'd be a part. If you were a floor, I'd want to be a rug. And if you were a kiss, I know I'd be a hug.
This vacation was such a good call.
3 moms sitting down at the same time must document this historic moment.
I'm not moving a muscle.
Don't worry, AT&T gave me the new iPhone 17 Pro with the center stage front camera. Didn't even need the most expensive plan. Should we call the kids? No.
Get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us when you trade in your old iPhone. Any condition, most expensive plan not required. Plus, switch to AT&T and we'll pay off your phone balance up to $800 per line.
That was the ad break.
Good morning and welcome back to Sport. Money is flowing freely in college athletics' new world disorder. It's no surprise that gambling is playing a role. Buried in paragraph 25 in the federal indictments for more than a dozen college basketball players for fixing games is really the crux of it. The fixers targeted for their scheme NCAA basketball players for whom the bribe payments would meaningfully supplement or exceed legitimate NIL opportunities. It reads, "Money is flowing like never before in college sports. Quarterbacks are fielding million-dollar offers to eschew the NFL for another run at college. Private equity is noodling its way into athletic department finances, and celebrity boosters are writing an entirely new verse of Be True to Your School, with huge pledges of fiscal allegiance. But it has not and will not trickle down to the Delaware states or Kennesaw states or Texas Southerns of the world. And the gamblers knew that. Their scheme, as alleged by federal investigators, was intentional and insidious. They sought out the easiest of marks, guys competing for schools where no one pays much attention and no one pays the players much, if at all. In exchange for payouts of $20,000 here or $30,000 there, the gamblers laid down hundreds of thousands of dollars on bets they were almost guaranteed to win, a brilliant return on investment. More than a dozen NCAA basketball players charged over rigged games, prosecutors say. a sprawling betting scheme to rig NCAA and Chinese Basketball Association games ensnared 26 people, including more than a dozen college basketball players who tried to fix games as recently as last season, federal prosecutors said Thursday. The scheme generally revolved around fixers recruiting players with the promise of a big payment in exchange for purposefully underperforming during a game, prosecutors said. The fixers would then place big bets against the players' teams in those games, defrauding sports books and other bettors, authorities said. Concerns about gambling in college sports have grown since 2018, when the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a federal ban on the practice, leading some states to legalize it to varying degrees. The NCAA does not allow athletes or staff to bet on college games, but it briefly allowed student athletes to bet on professional sports last year before rescinding that decision in November. According to the indictment unsealed Thursday, fixers started with 2 games in the Chinese Basketball Association in 2023 and, successful there, moved on to rigging NCAA games as recently as January 2025. This 9-year-old escaped war in Ukraine. Now in the U.S., she's tipped to be a future tennis superstar. Some might say that it's too early to predict the future of a 9-year-old sporting sensation, and often they would be right to. So much can happen during a young athlete's development. Bodies change, the risk of burnout increases, and simply desire in the sport can simply wane. Yet despite all of this, legendary tennis coach Rick Maxey says he's currently training the next superstar of the sport, 9-year-old Vlada Hrančar. I have no doubt this little girl is going to be #1 in the world, he tells CNN Sports during an interview alongside Hrančar and both her parents. I can see how she is wired and put together and has a work ethic unsurpassed. All the other qualities as well, just the cardio and all these things wrapped in one. This little kid has every box checked. It's quite the appraisal from a coach who has worked with some of the biggest names in the game, namely helping to kickstart the careers of both Serena and Venus Williams, a relationship which was the subject of the Oscar-winning film King Richard in 2021. He is predicting a similar trajectory for Hrančar, and the story of how this astonishing young girl and her family wound up in their current position is worthy of a Hollywood script itself. Hrančar was born in Ukraine to a sport-loving family. Her brother plays professional soccer in Ukraine, and her parents allowed Hrančar to try out a variety of activities from an early age, including dance and gymnastics. But speaking to CNN Sports, Hrančar's mom, Marina, says her little daughter quickly became obsessed with just one sport, tennis. During her first visit to a court age 3, Hrančar told her parents she would beat everyone. Little did they know it would soon become true. What I love about tennis is the competition. I love to beat everybody in matches. I want people to want to play like me one day, Hrančar tells CNN Sports, giggling at her own confidence. Sport ends here. Thank you so much for watching us today. You can find more news by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
It's time for a short ad break.
Mistletoe in January?
Why can't your parents just move on? The holidays are over.
If Verizon's keeping the holiday spirit, Nick, so are we. We just got a great deal.
Super fast, reliable home internet for just $35 a month.
With no surprise price hikes, guaranteed. You'll understand when you're older.
I guarantee this is gross.
Great deals are still here. Switch to Fios Home Internet starting at $35 a month and get a Samsung TV on us with our premium plans.
New Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. The Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners. It's unbelievably Pepsi.
You're unbelievable.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Try it now.
If I was a flower growing wild and free, all I'd want to be my sweet and be. If I was a tree growing tall wants you to shake me and be my leaves. If you were a wing, I'd be a knot. If you were a seed, well, I'd be a pod. If you were a floor, I'd wanna be a rug. And if you were a kiss, I know I'd be a hug.
This vacation was such a good call.
3 moms sitting down at the same time must document this historic moment.
I'm not moving a muscle.
Don't worry, AT&T gave me the new iPhone 17 Pro with the center stage front camera. Didn't even need the most expensive plan. Should we call the kids? No.
Get the all-new iPhone 17 Pro on us when you trade in your old iPhone. Any condition, most expensive plan not required. Plus, switch to AT&T and we'll pay off your phone balance up to $800 per line.
One more time. Walmart's Cyber Monday is the last chance to score even more deals.
Even more?
Even more.
And it's on a Monday this year.
It's always on a Monday. It's Cyber Monday.
What's Cyber Monday?
New Year, same extra value meals. From breakfast to late night, make it a meal and save. Value is still on the menu, only at McDonald's.
The $4.99 double cheeseburger meal at Burger King. It's the double cheeseburger you fell in love with, or the one you're about to. A quarter pound of beef patties, flame grilled with 2 slices of melty cheese, plus fries and a drink for just $4.99. You rule.
We wanted to switch to T-Mobile to make sure that we have better coverage.
T-Mobile is now the best network. And with T-Satellite, we're connecting millions of people in places no carrier tower can reach.
I signed up for T-Satellite to give me peace of mind as a mom that makes life better knowing that it's there when we need it.
Upgrade to the best network. Right now, T-Mobile will pay off 4 phones up to $3,200. Plus, hook you up with 4 new phones on us. Switch today.
That was the ad break. Good morning and welcome back to weather. In the United States, it's snowing moderately. Austin 24 degrees, Boston 7 degrees, Brooklyn 14 degrees, Chicago 9 degrees, Dallas 15 degrees, Houston 31 degrees, Los Angeles 50 degrees, Manhattan 13 degrees, Nashville 30 degrees, New York 13 degrees, Philadelphia 13 degrees, Phoenix 51 degrees, Queens 13 degrees, Sacramento 39 degrees, San Antonio 27 degrees, San Diego 52 degrees, San Jose 42 degrees, St. Paul -9 degrees, the Bronx 12 degrees, Washington 16 degrees. This was all the weather information. If you want more updates, scan the QR code on the screen. See you next time. Goodbye.